Okay, hi everyone, welcome back, and in this update we are going to check out Chainlink's price chart, and I think in the short term we are able to see some beautiful optimistic signs. Why is that? You see, if you remember in the previous video, we were right around these areas, and the idea was that there's a good argument to be made for this whole move up to be a 1 2 3 4 5, which means this might be the beginning of something. And I said, well, okay, after a 5-wave up, in most cases we are going to see a correction structure down, followed by that another move on the upside. And I really do not believe that anybody is going to say this isn't actually an ABC zigzag. Now, what is happening starting from this point to about this high? First things first, before we talk about Elliott waves, let's go around here. You see, in a downtrend, we are having a series of lower highs and lower lows. And the moment that you see a move up, in order to take the previous major pivot high, at that point, you may have an argument for the downtrend being over. And again, pay attention, you may have an argument, okay? We are not talking about certainties. Every single thing in the markets are just about probabilities. So, let's not be that sure. However, we really cannot ignore the fact that recently in Chainlink, we took the previous major pivot high, and that does kind of suggest, maybe this whole downtrend starting from the highest high, about $18, is actually over. Is this for us enough to be like completely optimistic? No, I don't really think so. I believe at the moment we need to really get help, especially from Elliott waves. And what is happening here? Maybe it's best to go on like 15-minute time frame. Okay, so I believe there's a very high chance that this is a wave 1, followed by a correction for wave 2, and probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up into wave 3. This might be a correction for and then another move on the upside into wave 5. So the fact that we are able to find a 5 wave up after this correction down, in my books, is definitely an optimistic sign, but I'm gonna say it again, it's not actually enough. No, what really matters is this: what is going to happen soon in Chainlink? Are we going to get, after this short-term move up, a consolidation pattern followed by that another move up? Or maybe instead we are going to have like a very strong move on the downside, like a 1 2 3 4 5, in order to take this important low down here about $13.5. Why is this so important? Because if we do something like this at that point, okay, I think we all can safely assume that this was just an ABC zigzag and not an impulse, indicating, unfortunately, the whole move down that we started from the $18 area is just simply not over yet. On the other hand, if we do get a correction and then another move on the upside, well, at that point, we are able to absolutely say, you know what, this is an impulse on the upside on a higher degree, which is a great sign suggesting the low is finally in Chainlink, about $12.5, especially because I am actually able to find complete subwaves for a correction starting from the highest side to about the $12.5 low. So these are definitely optimistic signs, but let's just wait a little bit more and see what is going to happen next, because that is going to be kind of the last important bullish sign for us, indicating the final bottom is already here. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Chainlink. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.